the class, and you can see that there are red button up there. The class is being recorded. Okay, this meeting is being recorded. So first of all, the attendance. Okay, I will give you about 3 minutes. Okay, but I will give this again and again for anyone that entered the class. Okay, I've given the link for the attendance at the chat menu. Okay, please have your time about 2 to 3 minutes to fill in the form. The academic advisor is your penasihat academic, okay? Your penasihat academic. Then I will check. There are 49 participants in our meeting, including me. So there should be 48 of you that will be response to the attendance sheet. Mm. 40, another 8. Okay, thank you guys for responding to the attendance. link. Okay, so for now I will try to call your name and each of you if you can. I need you to say yes, I'm here. Okay, Taufik Ridwan bin Mastor. Taufik Ridwan bin Mastor. Okay, nampak. Baju hijau kawan. Okay. Okay, for your information, this is, I will give the, I will give the screen of our class, okay? So, what's up? Okay. Okay, so I've posted in the group. That is how is my view of WebEx. So it will change because there are 25 only participants in the first page, and then the balance are at the in the second page. But if you are talking, if you unmute your mic, then your DP display picture will go to the first page. So each and every time you ask question, and I can see you at the first page. But if you are ask question, but I cannot hear or I cannot see your chat, just don't forget to unmute your mic. Okay, sometimes you sir, tapi saya tak nampak. Okay, so just to remind you. Okay, so okay, right. So we have 47 participants. Okay, Taufik. Okay, Daniel Raj. Say hi, Daniel Raj.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Morning. Okay, you don't have your camera.
Uh,
Okay. Okay, Muhammad Najmi. Muhammad Najmi. Okay, unmute then. Yeah, sir. Sini.
Sini, sir.
Mana? Okay, nampak. Okay. Prabhaga. Prabhaga.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, can see you. Then Wong Bung Heng.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Tak nampak.
Hello, sir.
Sekejap. Kalau dekat dia. Okay, nampak. Oh, kau tukar background kau Mana kau Okay. Sim Chong Huang.
Sini, sir. Sini.
Yeah. Okay, baru naik. Okay, good. Nai Jun An. Okay, nampak. Nampak.
Morning, Cik.
Morning. Good to see you. Vignesh.
Yes.
Belum nampak Vignesh.
I'm here, sir.
Okay, tak ada kamera. Okay, can see you. Kalau line tak okay, off lah. Okay. So, Nurzian Hanina. Nurzian Hanina.
Here,
Nampak,
sir.
nampak. Aku tu lari-lari gambar dia. Okay, nampak. Good. Suhail. Suhail Abdul Rahman. Suhail Abdul Rahman Abdul Ismail.
Yes, sir.
Mana you kat mana? Tak nampak.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, right. So we will have camera. Alfred Owens. Jauhnya suara kau. Kau kat mana tu? Okay, okay. Nampak. Alright. Saya okay. Next. Jah Zabania. Okay, nampak. Right. Yap Jinyang.
Hi, sir. Can you see me?
Tak nampak. Lambai sikit. Okay, nampak.
Oh,
Semua
sir.
dah apa tukar background dah Okay. Muhammad Fahmi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, nampak. Muhammad Haziq bin Yusri.
Ada, sir. Ada.
Okay, nampak. Liu Junwei.
Ya, sir. Halo, tengah.
Sekejap, dia belum naik. Okay. Kadang-kadang bila mute all tu dia tak mute semua. Okay, next Andrew. Andrew Ling Ting Yu. Tak nampak.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Are you here?
Okay. Nampak baru naik tu. Surya Prakash.
Hello, sir. I'm here.
Okay. Chan Yang Kang.
So, I'm here.
Okay, nampak. Muhammad Azad.
Sir, I'm here.
Tak nampak. Okay, nampak. Nur Hafizah Syafi'i.
I'm here.
Terkejut kan.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay. Lo Yi Chong.
Good morning, sir. I'm here.
Morning. Okay, nampak. Tay Yuan Kai.
Good morning, sir. Sini.
Sekejap.
Ada.
Okay. Nampak. Sami Abdullah. Sami Abdullah. Sami Abdullah Saleh Al-Gobi. Mana? Sami Abdullah Saleh Al-Gobi. Ada tak? Toilet saya. Oh, dia buka kamera. Muhammad Anwar bin Abdul Halim.
Ada sir, ada.
Mana angkat tangan sikit?
Saya tak buka video sebab bateri dah sikit.
Oh, kau tu pilih batok ni. Nanti tukar nama kan? Sampai hati
Ya,
kau.
saya dah tukar nama tapi entahlah, dia tak tukar.
Mungkin next
Sorry sir.
next time nak masuk tu mungkin dia ada tanya nama tu kan. Okay. Surya Prakash dah kan? Suresh Bharat. Suresh.
Yes, sir.
Tadi nama dia naik. Okay. Dah. Muhammad Zuhairi.
Saya, sir.
Okay. Muhammad Raihan. Muhammad Raihan. Okay. Ang Chung Weng.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tengah loading. Tak apa. Line tak fikir tak apa. Teh Yuan Kai.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Shaktivel.
Yes sir.
Tak nampak di mana di kau. Okay, nampak. Nampak. Tadi pasal nama tapi lepas tu dia dah hilang. Okay. Thank you. Nur Najmi.
Yes, sir.
Nur Najmi ni apa? Nak sebut ni belakang Nur Najmi. Salah
Adia.
tekan ke apa?
Betul.
Nur Najmi SDH. Dah lihat.
Adelia tu. Salah type tu.
Okay. Right. Next. Tai Chen Boon.
Good morning, sir. I'm here.
Morning. Saya tak nampak nama dia naik. Tak nampak. Okay, ada. Sebelah. Okay, Lee Chen Yi. Okay, nampak. Dah. Good. Chow Kimi Kwan.
Morning, sir. I'm here.
Okay, morning. Good. Riza Amani. Nur Izzah Amani.
Saya.
Ni tak boleh ambil. Amir. Muhammad Amir. Tak boleh unmute. Kau bergendang semua dengar. Nur Azam. Nur Azam. Ada lagi. Nur Azam.
Ada.
Mana sekejap? Okay. Azam. Alright, good. Ni Muhammad Ashraf.
Yes, sir.
Okay, nampak. So take away. So take away. Ada tak? Saya tak nampak. Kita bangun ni. Okay. Lin Hong Lim. Okay, nampak. Muhammad Izul Hakimi. Ya. Okay. Go Chilin.
Morning, sir.
Okay, nampak. Morning, nampak. Thank you. Muhammad Hasif. Okay, nampak.
Morning, sir. Morning, everyone.
Morning semua. Okay. That is how it could be. I send you the attendance sheet. But for your information, WebEx can capture the time in and time out for you. So I can get the information from WebEx system so that I can see when Muhammad Adinata get into the meeting and when he went out. So ada in and out time. But if you have a line problem, then it will capture 2 or 3 times. Depends on your in and out in the meeting room. Okay. So that is why I ask you from now on, when you have your class, you need to write your full name. Because of what? Because if I write Muhammad.
Oh, you're right.
Macam itulah dia ada gangguan. Tapi saya tak dapat nak unmute. Ami. Sorry about that. Okay, ada 2 orang yang saya tak dapat mute. Yang sama Muhammad Amir Aiman dan juga Muhammad Amir. Dapat nak mute kan you. Mungkin speaker tu yang jadi double. So begitulah online class kita. Sometimes dia ada gangguan here and there. Bukan sometimes lah, selalulah. Okay. Alright, so for now, I just want to review our teaching plan. So, first of all, okay. So, can't you see our okay, Okay, this is our ULearn. Okay, so this is our ULearn. And then our code subject is BMCG 1123, static and mechanic. Okay, so please ensure that you are in the right class. The timetable for our class is Tuesday 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and Wednesday also 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Okay, so in our in our ULearn, I have uploaded the teaching plan. Okay, switch off. Okay, I have uploaded the teaching plan. So if you click on the teaching plan, okay, this is our teaching plan for this course. Okay, this is the subject name. This is the subject code, and then the objective is please ensure that you are in the statics and mechanics of materials. Okay, the objective of this course is to develop students so that they will be able to analyze and resolve forces in a mechanical system, able to determine stresses. Okay, kejap. Tu saya dah send. Determine stress, kita ada stress, strain, displacement, due to load acting on them using basic concept of force system and solid mechanics. Okay, so in this subject, we have actually two combined subject, which is the first one is statics, and the second one is solid mechanics. So both of them are combined in this subject, so that you can have both of the knowledge for statics and solid mechanics. But for statics, the 3D is not included in your study. Okay, so the learning outcomes is state the basic concept of force and materials mechanics. So the force is basically in Newton. Materials mechanic is for the stress, tensile stress, and shear stress, so forth and so on. Okay, so identify the force and stress on mechanical system. So the force, static is about force. So solid mechanic is about the stress. Okay, force will give the stress to the structure. Okay, to our structure, to our metal or beam or rod or some things. Okay, and the third one, analyze the number two, identify the force and stress on mechanical. Analyze the force and stress on mechanical. So state, identify, and analyze. So you should know which is force, which is stress. Second one, you should identify which is force and which is stress. And the third one, you should analyze the structure. Okay, that is the learning outcomes for this subject. And this is about statics. Static lah, duduk diam. Okay, the equilibrium force is equal to 0. So statics, moment equals to 0. So static duduk diam, tapi ada force yang bertindak. Mechanics, introduction to various types of structure, supports, concepts. In solid mechanics, we will learn about stress, strains, normal stress, axial loading, shear stress, transverse loading, torsion, and pure bending. So in static is the basic of our solid mechanics. Okay, so you need to know statics, then you can analyze and evaluate in the solid mechanics. this is our reference. So I need you to find this book. We have also, I have searched also in Shopee. It is about around 105 ringgit for the books. So if you want to have a better understandings about static and mechanics, you can buy or you can find the ebooks for our textbooks. Okay, and there are another three of references that we are using for this material. But Hibler is the one that we are using for our lecture notes. Actually, okay. So lecture, 3 hours per week for 14 weeks, 2 hours per week for 2 weeks. Okay, total is for 40 hours. And tutorials, we have 1 hours per week for 6 weeks. But normally I will combine classes and then we have a tutorial. Okay, so that is how we gonna run our class. Attendance is compulsory for lectures and should be more than 80% of the total contact hours. So for this is lecture, 4 hours. Actually, we have 4 hours per week, 3 hours per week, 3 hours per week for lecture for 14 weeks. Okay, that is 42 hours in total, but you need to come at least 33 hours. Okay, 34 hours divided by every 3 hours is 11. So if you are missing 3 classes, okay, if you are missing three classes, you will be barred from taking the final exam. Okay, so you need to be aware of that. Kalau if you are MC, if you have an emergency, just give me the details of that with proof. Okay. Sir, our final will be online. Belum lagi, kejap. Tapi jawapan dia ya. Okay, we have 4 quizzes. One assignment, individual assignment. Quizzes 10%, so each of the quiz should be 2.5%. And then our assignment is 10% for individual. We have our mid-semester examination, 1.5 hours. Mid-semester, mid-sem. Okay, at about here, mid-semester exam. Normally before break or after break, we have 2 weeks time. Faculty will decide when is the date and time for our mid-semester exam. Okay, and we have our final examination, 3 hours for 3 questions, and the final will be online. Okay, we have at least 2 sets of questions. Normally, then you need to answer all 3 questions. Before this, face-to-face, you have 5 questions or 6 questions. 5 questions needs to answer 4, or 6 questions need to answer 5. So that is how face-to-face running class. Okay. So yes, we are until now we are given time to set up our final in online final exam. Okay, so that's how we're gonna run our final exam. Okay, so we have chapter 1 until chapter 6. Okay, this is chapter 1 until chapter 6 before semester break is static. And then after break, we have solid mechanics, mechanics of materials. So 9 to 15. Okay, so there are 14 weeks of lecture. 13 weeks, okay? So 14 weeks including our mid-sem break. So we have at least the final weeks to review our courses. Macam review for final, okay? So the final week, and then you have study weeks. Okay, so we have two lecturers that will be responsible for this subject, which is me, Dr. Muhammad Adinata bin Sharul Zaman, and also the coordinator of the subject is Dr. Muhammad Shukri Zakaria. So I am for section 2, and Dr. Shukri will be guide section 1. Okay, we'll be teaching section 1. Okay, any question about our teaching plan? I have uploaded in the ULEN. Anything you can ask. If not now, you can ask also in WhatsApp group. Okay, so we have 4 quizzes for 10%. We have assignment 10%. That will make 20%. We have mid-semester exam 20%. That will make you 40%. And that the balance 60% is final exam. So 60% for final exam is quite high. So you need to know that the final is 60%. Okay. So at least you need to do well in your quizzes, assignment, and also your mid-semester exam. And then I have also uploaded our chapter 1 notes. Suhail. Okay. Tak ada masuk dalam ni. Okay. I will send you the link, Suhail. So this is of that's the link to our. Okay. So this is for lecture, and this is the link for the WebEx, which I put here for the first time. Next time I will be putting our online link, online classes in our WhatsApp group. Okay. So this is the attendance link for that one that I've given you, and this is our notes, class note, lecture notes. Okay, so this is notes I have uploaded on there. Where is it? It is in. Okay, if you can see this one. So general info, who am I? There's nothing in there. It's teaching plan. Okay, there are teaching plan in the teaching plan tab, and then week 1. Okay, you go to scroll to week 1, and then you click the week 1. You can see the lecture, our chapter 1. Okay, so I will be teaching the chapter 1 with you guys. Okay. Okay. So actually, there are 6 chapters of statics, and then if you have any question, you can just ask at the chat. Okay, so I'll be teaching on our statics and mechanics of materials. So just be remember that our first before semester break is statics, and after semester break is for solid. Sorry, solid mechanics. Okay, so for now, BMCG 1123. BMCG 1123 statics and mechanics of materials. This is the course objective to introduce fundamental concept in structural analysis of mechanical system, and to teach you the basic concepts of force and materials mechanics, state, determine, and analyze. So the final one is to understand and elaborate the forces on mechanical system. So this is about structure. Okay, this is about structure that you need to know. If we give a force, okay, if we pull, if we push the structure, what will happen? If we put a load to the structure, what will happen? Okay, statics, but for the time being, for this chapter, this should be the very basics of numbering, units that we use for system, SI unit, and so on. Okay, statics, units, calculation, and problem solving. Today's objective in our class is to identify what is mechanics, what is statics, round the final answer appropriately, apply problem solving strategies. Okay, so that is our learning outcomes should be today. What is mechanics? Mechanics is the study of what happens to a thing, what happens to a structure, what happens to our beam, to our machine, happens to a thing. Okay, so the technical name is body. Okay, beam, body, structure, when forces are applied to it. So when someone push your head, what happened? So this is structure. Someone push your head, what happened? So that is what will in this subject. Either the body or the forces could be large or small, doesn't matter. Branches of mechanics as listed here in the slides is mechanics. Rigid bodies, we have rigid bodies, we have deformable bodies, and we have fluids. So rigid bodies, things that do not change shape. So nothing change about the shape, should be static and dynamics. Deformable bodies, fluid is incompressible and compressible. These things should you should know these two terms, which is statics and mechanics. Okay, actually mechanics is the main term. Statics and mechanics of materials, which is we call solid mechanics, is and the mechanics of materials. So statics is deals with equilibrium of bodies. So we have body, we have our beam, we have our structure to determine the forces acting to the body. Okay? To keep the body at first at rest, and the second moving. So that is our first Newton. Okay, first Newton law. If they are at rest, the structure, the body will be at rest. If the body is moving, the body will keep moving. Okay, so that's the first law, first Newton law. Mechanics of materials is to study the relationship between the external load So you give the forces to the body. So that is called external load. And what happened to the body? The intensity of internal forces. Okay? So bila orang tolak kepala, when someone push your head, you will try to move it back to the current place. Okay? So the intensity of internal forces acting within the body. What happened if static is not applied properly? So you need to know static, at least statics. So the disaster will not happen. Okay, you need to calculate the angle, you need to calculate the load given to the structure, the load given to the link. Okay, there are four units, four system SI units that we will use in this chapter, in this subject, which is four fundamental physical quantities. Length is length. Length is in meter. Okay, so this is the SI unit. The SI unit for length. Length, width, thickness. Okay, so the SI unit is meter. Mass. Mass is what? Berat. Okay, mass. Weight is berat. Mass is jisim. Okay, mass is kilogram. Okay, time. Time, what is time? We use minutes, hours. We use second. This is the SI unit. And force. Force is what? Force, we use Newton. Okay, so what is our weight? Weight is sometimes called force. So force, Newton. Newton is coming from kgm over s square. Okay, kilogram meter per second square. But you need to know this. Okay, Newton. But we will look at after this. There are slides talking about the SI units. Okay, one equation relates them. Force F is equals to M times A. Okay, so we have F. F is what? Newton. In Newton, we know it's in Newton. M times A. So M times A. So mass is kg. A is acceleration, meter per second square. Okay, or you can write it as A. The unit for A is meter second meter square. Okay, right. So we have our force. The unit of force is kg m over s square. Okay, so F equals to ma. So that is the force. Basic quantities in mechanics. Length. Locate the position of a point in space. Describe the size of physical system. So length. Length is meter. Okay. So locate the position of point in space. From A to B is 100 meter. Describe the size of the physical system. Okay. So the size of the physical system. The size is, the length is 0.1 meter. The width is 0.2 meter. The thickness is 0.1 meter. Okay? So, time, succession of events, time in seconds, mass, measure of a quantity of matter. So, this is kilogram. Force, a push or pull, what I said before, push or pull exerted by one body on another. So one body, 10 Newton push or pull. Okay, so that is force. We have three models in our mechanics, which is the first one is particle, which is particle has a mass, but its size can be neglected. Okay, this is the size of the particle compared to the universe. Okay, so it can be neglected. Rigid body. The first one is particle. Number two is rigid body. The rigid body is for the system, for the structure, a combination of a large number of particles. So particles will give you a rigid bodies. Okay, remain at fixed distance from one to another before and after apply a load. So it is steady. Okay, when we apply load. Okay, so this is the real situation, and then you need to draw, and then you need to draw free body diagram. Free body diagram is like this one sometimes. P, then A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so that's a free body diagram. Okay. And the third one is concentrated force. The effect of a loading assumed to act at a point on a body. Okay, so we assume that 10 Newton that we apply the load is the concentrated force. Okay, so now we are looking at the Newton's law of motion. This is the first law. A particle originally at rest. Okay, when the body is at rest, it will be at rest. Or moving in a straight line with constant velocity, will be moving with a constant velocity, no acceleration. Remember that, acceleration is zero. Because you consider that there are no external forces on the body. Okay, kena anggap you need to see that the body, the particles is in no gravity. Okay, it will be moving without no forces acting to the body. So when the body is at rest, it will be at rest. When it is moving, it will move with constant velocity, no acceleration. Okay, it will remain in this state provided that the particle is not subjected to an unbalanced force. Okay, so that is the balance force for the Newton's first law. Newton's law of motion for second law. A particle act upon an unbalanced force F experience an acceleration. So for the first one, they are moving with the constant velocity. Okay? Moving with the constant velocity, but when there are extra forces, unbalanced forces that give to the particles, it will have the acceleration. Okay? A particle act upon by an unbalanced force experience an acceleration. So that has the same direction as the force and a magnitude that is directly proportional to the force. When is the force given to the particles, it will directly proportional to the force. Okay, so this is what the F equals to ma coming from the second law. And then this is for the momentum. Newton's law of motion. Third law, the mutual forces of action and reaction between two particles are equal and opposite and collinear. Okay, so this is for momentum that act on two bodies. Okay, again, this is our third time seeing this in this lecture slides. Okay, SI unit measurements is length for meter, time second, mass for kilogram, force we are using Newton. See, this is Newton, and Newton is actually kilogram meter per second square. Okay, or else you can write this one also. Sorry. Okay, guys. If you want to stop me, if I am too fast, just type on the chat room. Okay. If you want to go to the toilet, then okay. Don't have to put in the chat. Sir, I want to go to toilet. Okay, just go. If you are at home. Okay. So this is the SI units measurement, and we are using the International System of Units (SI). Okay, so we are using this one, but there are books. Before you buy the books, you need to have a look first. Actually, the examples, the question is using feet, is using US customary unit or using SI unit. So better not to take the US units books because it is so difficult to change unless you are willing to know further about the US customary units. Okay. Rules for using SI symbols. We have 4 units, which is we have length for meter, second for time, mass kg, and also force for Newton. So there are rules for you to understand. No plurals, no 100 meters, no plurals. Okay, you don't have to put s 100 meters at the back. You don't have to put 28 kilograms, no s. Okay, no s. Please don't put s at the back. So no plurals. Separate units with a dot. So this is dot. Kilogram per kilogram meter per second square. Okay, so this is the dot to differentiate between mass and also our length. Okay, and most symbols are in lowercase. Some exceptions are Newton, Pascal, mega, and giga. So mega Pascal, gigapascal, megabytes, terabytes. Okay, so this is how you're gonna write in your solutions. Okay, and then exponential powers applied to units. Okay, applies to the whole unit. Centimeter square is centimeter. Sorry. Centimeter times centimeter equals to centimeter, the whole centimeter square. Okay, that is how you write. Meter square, kilogram, not so much in kilogram square. Feet square. Okay. Second square, seconds times seconds equals to second square. Okay, for the whole unit. Milliseconds for milliseconds. Okay. At the standard location on Earth, okay, G is 9.80665 meter per second square. But for calculation in our question, our tutorial, we are using this one. G is equals to 9.81. W is equals to mg. This is actually from force equals to ma. Okay, it's the same. So W is equals to mg. When you have, okay, so this one. when you have g is equals to 9.81, that is the acceleration. So for 1 kilogram body, it should be write as 8.91 Newton. 2 kilogram body is equals to 19.62 Newton. Oh, sorry. Okay. So that is for the calculation using gravity for our weight. Okay. SI units of measurement. Okay. For the multiple, what we are using is this one. Okay. The upper one is more than 10 to the power of 3. Kilo is to the power of 3. Okay, so this one. I have to write it. To the power of 3, mega to the power of 6, giga to the power of 9. What about 10 to the power of 12? What is the prefix for the 10 to the power of 12? Okay, tera. Okay, so semua tahu terabytes for your computer. Before this, do you know diskette? Okay, my question, just want to know what is the save icon here is about. From what icon? Do you know from what icon? The save icon up there in the all words processing office. Diskette. Okay. Do you know how big is the how big is the storage for the diskette? Megabyte. Kilobyte. 1.44 megabyte. 1.44 megabytes. Okay. So you have your hard disk with 1 terabyte, 4 terabyte. Okay, so 1.44. Then after the diskette, you have another bigger storage. After diskette, what is it? Thumb drive. No, not thumb drive. Cassette, the one that you roll. Yes, CD. CD is, how big is CD? I think you all know. The CD. The size, storage size of CD. Normally, 700 megabyte. Then after CD, the storage after CD, pen drive at that time is still costly. Still very costly, this one. DVD, 4.7 gigabyte. And then you have your first thumb drive ever. My friend buy a thumb drive. I think it's big like this one, and then put in the neck thumb drive, 32 megabyte. Okay, this big. Okay, then you have your pen drive. Pen drive also now up to uh, what gigs? 128 to 156 gigabyte. Okay, gigabyte. How many DVD and how many CD that we have the same storage size for the 256 gigabyte, and then you have 1 terabyte. I have another one. So that is the prefix of using tera, giga, mega, kilo. So you need to remember which is what is the prefix you need to change. Okay, and you do a calculation. Okay, so this one. Now this one. This is my thumb. Okay, this is 1 terabyte. You see how the technologies is going to make a smaller and smaller size of storage, but you need a bigger phone. Okay, so the storage will be small in size, big in storage, but you want a bigger phone. Okay, so that is from the prefix. So you need to know tera, giga, mega, kilo. Tera, giga, mega, kilo, deci, centi. So we have our deci, centi. Deci, centi, milli, micro, nano, pico. So now we are talking about nano size. So that is all about the smallest size with big storage. Okay, each represent multiple or submultiple of a unit. Some like 4,000 kilonewton, 4 meganewton, 5 millimeter. So you need to how to write. Actually, how to write this one to be at least one number, okay, or three numbers, and then if you have one, if you have 10, then it should be okay. If you have 100, still okay. But if you have 1,000, you need to 1 kilonewton. Okay, so from one number, 1, 10, 100. So 3 digits. Okay, maximum 3 digits, and then you need to change to the SI symbols, whether it is millimeter, it is kilonewton. Okay. Okay, so sorry. Okay, problem solving strategy. This is for the strategy. read carefully, okay, and determine what data given and what quantities to calculate. So you need to understand the question first. If not clear, you need to ask. If necessary, make assumptions and indicate them. There are some things that you need to ponder about assumptions. You need to, you need to assume with facts, okay? You need to assume with facts that you understand. And then plan, think about major step. How can you do the calculation and how can you make to solve the problems, okay? Think about major steps or a roadmap that you will take to solve the problem. Think the alternative, creative solutions, and choose the best one. But it will take time. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to do the tutorial from the books, and also I will give the tutorial and upload it in the ULearn. But you have to do it more to make sure that you know how to choose the best solution. Okay. Execute. Number 3, carry out your steps. Use appropriate diagrams, equation, estimate your answer and recalculate it back. Avoid simple calculation mistakes. Okay. Revise. Review back your calculation. Sometimes there are numbers are different. You put on calculator, there are 4.20, but you put 6.20. Okay, so just recalculate if you have time. Numerical calculations, dimensional homogeneity. So you need to understand the 4, okay, the 4 units that we use, which is I have told before this is the 4th time, length, time, mass, force. Okay, you need to know which one is length. So when it is length, you will use meter. When it is time, you will use second. When it is mass, you will use kilogram. And when it is force, you will use Newton. So regardless how equation is evaluated, it maintains its dimensional homogeneity. Okay. As an example, you have 1 kilometer times 20 meter. Okay, 1 kilometer times 20 meter. Okay, then you do the calculation, 1 kilometer times 20 meter, and then you give the answer. Okay, so you need to change the kilometer to this value. Okay, kilo is 10 to the power of 3. Okay, 1000 meters, so the units is the same. Then you can have the correct answer of 20,000 meters square. Okay, rounding of numbers. This is how to round off. If you take the calculator, 6 times 0.806. Okay, so let's say this one. If you calculate, and then you got the answer. 141.21453678910. So this is from the calculator. You don't need to write from the calculator. So you need to round it up. Calculated results should always be rounded off. to an appropriate number of decimal places. So normally 2 or 3, okay? But for safety, okay, for safety, just take it 4, maximum. Okay? Take 4 decimal places, maximum. Okay? And then if there are over than 5 and there are lesser than 5, so the to round up your answer. Okay, so that is end of our lecture for this week. Okay, so tomorrow I will this is the basics of the statics, what you should know and what you should not do. Okay, and then okay, and then the second chapter is how you need to second chapter is about our statics. So there are questions, there are I show you in the sharing. Okay. So before I explain tomorrow, just want you to in statics, you always be the questions, the solutions, the strategy. You need to know about the first one, angle. Angle is theta. And then the second one you need to know is axis, x, y. Okay, axis. And sometimes x and y is used to be I and j. Okay, that's for the vector analysis. Okay, so what I want you to, where I can watch the recording meeting. Nanti saya bagi link untuk kelas ni kan. Dia kena buat kelas dulu baru boleh record, dan bila record dah ada dalam sistem baru boleh upload dalam YouTube. Okay, so for Wednesday it should be after 3 or 4 p.m. sometimes. Okay, because I need to put it in YouTube. Okay, so you need to know about angle, you need to know about axis, and you need to know about trigonometry. Okay, if you have some things like here, okay, this is your structure, and then you are given force 100 Newton, this force 200 Newton. Okay, so you need to know the angle. This is y, and this is x. This is theta, and this is theta. So you need to know how to use your. You need to separate the forces, okay, in x and y direction. So how do you how do you separate the 100 Newton? So this one is 100. Theta 1 is equals to 30 degree, let's say. Okay, so this one is 30 degree. So how to calculate what is Fy and what is Fx? Okay, so this is also as known as I, this is J vector. We will learn it tomorrow. And for the chapter, just you need to review it and understand the principles of the unit, okay, and then round up numbers. Okay, so this is I want you to know. This is what basically is so what I have learned. Okay, so katoa. So you have theta, and then this is hypotenuse, this is opposite, this is adjacent. Okay, so you need to be very good at this before you go to another level of chapter. You need to understand of this type of trigonometry. Then you will not have a problem, at least to answer the questions of our statics and solid mechanics questions. So for theta, sine theta is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Cos cos is Malay, C, cos sine English. Okay, I just use cos, but it's the same if you want to use it as so chahua. Okay, cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent theta is equals to opposite over adjacent. So remember this, and hopefully that you will never have a problem with the sign, because sometimes you need to transfer the theta. It is not only here, it is not directly given the theta there, but you need to transfer it to another level, and then you need to use that theta to put it inside there. Okay, so that is end of our class. Thank you to be with me for this 1 and 30 minutes, and I will see you tomorrow at the same time, and I will give the link around 9:15. Okay, around 9:15, 9:30, and then another thing, you need to put your real name when you use this web, so that I can trace who is who. Okay, and enter the class. Any question from you guys, if you want to ask me before we end our class? But for the time being, our that is end of our class. Okay, I will ask your feedback for the online classes that we have gone through in 1.5 hours. I want to know about how your lines. Are you keep loading for the class? Is my lecture is stuck here and there? Just let me know in the WhatsApp group so that I can I can have an idea of what we have been through, because sometimes it happened to me before. When I am teaching, when in a class, suddenly the webpack is closed. Many times. It happened to me many times. It closed and my computer hang. So luckily for today, we have a very smooth and fine classes, and we hope that it will be going smoothly until the end of our semester. But guys, I will try to give you the tutorial, and we need to answer in the class, in our class. But I hope that you will try to find the books and do the question examples and also problems in the book, so that you have idea and more understanding on the subjects. And another last, the final from me, when you know statics, okay, you need to know the statics, very basics, then you can answer your solid mechanics question. Okay, so you need to learn and do exercise in the statics, so that you don't have to rush to study the statics when you have solid mechanics questions. Okay, solid mechanics tutorial or classes. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you guys, and you can leave our meetings. I will upload the meeting classes, and will update in our group and also in ULEN. Okay, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and have a good day, good class for today and until the end of semester. Thank you. Bye bye.
Hi, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back.